off, man. I know this was something that you've been wanting to do.
Yes,
You've been
sir.
hard. I feel like you're ready to unleash, man. I feel like you've been waiting to just unleash on guys like Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan. Really give them your thoughts. So, where do you want to start off, my man? There's a lot of ways
Okay.
we could do it.
I think let's go offense to defense, right?
Okay,
That
yeah.
sound good? No
No,
better
let's start
place.
off defense.
No, let's start.
We want to save the offense for later, right?
All
If we
right.
blow out the two biggest people right away, people are going to jump off the stream.
All right. How about we start with the D line? We'll go front to back.
Okay, are we going to go by player or just a D line altogether?
No, D line altogether. We'll group them. We're gonna group them.
Okay,
By,
you go
by
ahead
position.
first. You go ahead first.
I'm going C minus. C minus. Not quite. I feel like you can't be a D level unit when you have Nick Bosa. Leonard Floyd got 8 sacks, but I think it was a lot of Fugazi, right? You see some of the pressures, you see some of the sacks. You have what is it? Multiple guys you have 3 guys with 5+ sacks, whatever it is. You have Bosa almost getting 10. You had Floyd getting 8.5. If you watch these games, like we say, when we evaluate quarterbacks, how do we know some guys aren't as good as their numbers say? The games are on TV. As a Niners fan, you watch this D-line. There was no pressure. There was games where they would get no pressure. You could scheme around them. Everyone who wanted to could run right up them. The middle was just non-existent, really, for the second half of the year. People had whatever they want with them. James Conner, Kyron Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, name any running back. If you're a running back going against the Niners, that's when you tell your family, like, hey, maybe come watch this game. Like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this game. Buy your loved ones some tickets and watch them ball against the Niners. So I'm giving them a C minus. I can't imagine it goes any higher for you.
No, I'm going D and Sage. This entire report card, like I brought up, I'm going to literally be like an inner city teacher giving out these report cards because it's only going to be D's and it's only going to be F's. Okay.
Okay.
So
how do I reach these kids?
How do I teach these kids? But the D line's a D, man. This run defense was so bad. Like we were just getting gashed. We were like the NFL's town bike for running backs. Like everybody who
100%.
wanted to take a ride, literally like hop on. Like the 49ers are that easy. Like Jahmyr Gibbs running against his defense did not even look like an NFL. It honestly looked like we were in the Big 12. I know that there were injuries with Javon Hargrave. I know your boy Malik Collins. I'm not too sure of him. I didn't think he was that good. They were throwing in guys like Jordan Elliott. You got to shore up the interior D line. It's a joke. And Javon Hargrave's probably gone, so you got to fill in 2 key spots there. Nick Bosa, a lot of people are going to shit on Nick Bosa. I'm not going to. I think that clearly whenever the other O-lines match up against the 49ers, they're trying to take Nick Bosa away. Everything is schemed to stop Nick Bosa because they know everybody else on the line is not that good. Leonard Floyd, big miss. Big miss. We brought up, is John Lynch a little bit overrated? I said no, but fuck, man. This was not a good signing. Leonard Floyd did not do it. You needed to get a solid rusher in there. Say, if we were trying to compete for a Super Bowl and we were going to try to roll out Leonard Floyd in big-time playoff games to get to the quarterback, that just was not going to happen. You got to get somebody else. The defensive line, Nick Sorensen tried to rush forward to get to the quarterback every time with this D-line, and they really could never do it. It was honestly a joke that he never tried to throw in blitzes throughout the year.
The coaching did make it look worse.
They were bad.
To be fair.
Yeah, it was like they kind of like, without a paddle, just like kind of left this D-line on its own. It's like, okay, like rush forward, get to the quarterback. Like, we suck. Like, we can't. What do you want us to do?
It was like they were so tired of just investing in the D-line year after year. They just said, fuck it this year. Like, we'll look elsewhere. We'll look to improve elsewhere. We'll draft a wide receiver in the first round who will keep on the shelf until week 17.
They're going to have to draft somebody on the D-line first overall.
I think D-tackle. I think it's going to be a D-tackle. I don't know who it's going to be, but I think you got to go.
So Mason Graham seems like the number 1 D tackle out of Michigan, but he's a 3rd overall draft prospect. So I don't know if he falls all the way to 11.
But it's the same thing as last year, right? Where you just see all the offensive guys go early now, right? The first offensive player wasn't taken until 11 or 12 last year. So maybe there's hope. Maybe they trade up. Who knows? But we could move to linebackers.
I'm rooting for 5 quarterbacks to be taken, but I'll start with this one, Sage. So you start off with the last one, linebackers. This is hard because I really wish I could split it up, but overall, I mean, you just got to go with all scores combined just to give the mean, right?
Yeah, you got to go with the mean.
It's a C.
Okay.
It's a C. You know why? Fred Warner started out the year, looked like the best defensive player in football.
DPOY.
We all know against the Patriots, fractured his ankle, wasn't the same. I'm not going to blame Fred Warner. Fred Warner, you're getting an A from me. The fact that you played the entire year with a fractured ankle, brought it up, I think, only about a couple weeks ago. I know you're a dog. I know you're going to come back stronger than ever. You're going to be the guy on our defense. I love you, Fred Warner. But Sage, Devondre Campbell, F minus, like as low as you could possibly go. 0.
He played on this team, yes.
Expelled. Literally like F and you're expelled. Just awful the entire year. Missing tackles. Couldn't stop the run. And then with a cherry on top, in the biggest game of the year when the season's on the line, they tap you to go into the game. You're pissed off because Dre Greenlaw's getting that Levi Stadium crowd rocking. Coming back, looking like the best player on the field. You're mad because he played over you. The guy who was on the team for 5 years was hand in hand with Fred Warner, the best linebacker duo in the league. You're pissed because they put him in the game. Fuck you. Don't want to. I don't think you're ever going to see him on an NFL team again. And he's an F.
Travels.
D Winners, C. I mean, nothing really too impressive. Flanagan fouls. I don't care if you're gone either. Like, he's clearly not that good, Sage. I'm hoping that they re-sign Dre. I think that Trey's going to be healthy for next year. Him and Fred Warner, we know. That's a lethal linebacker duo. But for this year, I'm going to have to give them a C.
I'm going C+. I think we're basically around the same ballpark. I'm just going to say.
Are you prices riding me right now?
No. That half against the Rams where we had Fred and Dre Greenlaw is what gave me the plus because it looked special there for a half.
It looked like 85 Bears there for a little bit. It's like, holy shit, they can't run a fucking inch.
That's where they get the boost. Was it against the Dolphins too? When Dre was in there, they looked so good, but there's hope, right? Unlike the D-line, there's hope. You don't got to draft. You just got to get healthy. So that's why I think it's a C+. Fred was hurt. Obviously, Dre was hurt basically the entire year. Devondre Campbell, him leaving the building just boosted everyone. It's like when you play My Player in 2K and you make a pass and like have a good interview. It's like you get the chemistry up. Your chemistry goes up, getting him out of there. I want to see more of D Winners. I think he was fine as a third guy. And I just think that they underperformed, but I think the talent's there. I think they'll be fine. Just got to get right. C+. I don't think I got to spend too much time saying what I think of Fred Warner and how I think it was mainly injuries. Why?
What would you give him individual grade?
B. I mean, as a pro, it was one of his work. I'm grading him on the Fred
I get
Warner,
it. I get it, but you got to take into the fact that he's been playing with a fractured ankle. Like clearly his play has 100%. Not been that good, but we all know.
I know, but you're out there, you're healthy, and I'm just grading him on the Fred Warner scale.
You're out there, you're healthy. Okay, that's fair. All right, let's move on.
Maybe the only bright spot on the defense this year.
You go ahead, Sage. No. You go ahead. B-.
Okay. Right?
Okay.
Hufanga, when he was there, even though he had 3 separate injuries this year, looked good. Malik Mustafa, I'm not going to say a revelation, but a fine pick, right? Is he Troy Polamalu? Is he Ed Reed? No.
He's close to a revelation, Sage. I mean, did you see the way Amon-Ra was hyping him up on his pod?
Yeah.
That's not nothing.
So I think he's great. I mean, making tackles, plays the run, a little bit of a question mark in coverage still, but him and Renardo, they're just going to get better. These secondary guys, they come in, they're athletic, they're just out there playing. You start to learn, you get better. Look at Diamador Lenore, right? Took a big step forward this year, but you see he gets better and get better. Hopefully that happens with Mustafa. Hopefully that happens with Renardo Green. Charvarius, a little bit unfortunate of a year for him. Obviously didn't play his best ball. Some things going on. But I thought the secondary was fine. The D line, the linebackers did him no help when you could just run the ball. You got to press a little, play the play action. Teams could get you. So I thought it was fine effort by the secondary this year. I'm going B-. My highest grade so far. What about you?
Sage, I'm gonna pick you back right off you. I think that's perfect. I think it's a B- because I mean Diamador Lenore got that contract. He's been a dog all year. Everybody's been shouting him out that he was one of the biggest Pro Bowl snubs. So it seems like he locked in as a Pro Bowler. If you would have told me that before the year, I'd be like, oh, this is fucking perfect. We got Demo.
Exactly.
We got Mooney Ward. But the thing is, Mooney Ward's play has clearly dropped this year. We know what happened with his daughter and his family situation. But I think even before that, just with his physical play on the field, I don't think he's going to be a key guy for the 49ers moving forward. I don't think he can be. So you got to lower it a little bit there. When you look at the safeties, I mean, we were rolling out George Odom and Jair Brown for the start of the year. George Odom is a lifetime special teams guy. Jair Brown, I think, proved to you this year that you can't have him in your plans as a starting safety in the NFL if you want to make it deep. He did not impress me all year. I was honestly very disappointed in Jair Brown. Came in last year, middle of the year as a rookie, played well enough. I think he had an interception in the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
Coming right out of the second half. So Yeah, so I feel like there was a lot of excitement with Jair Brown, and it was probably the worst possible season he could have had. But on the other hand, you had guys like Malik Mustafa come in. Sage, I think he is a revelation. I mean, this guy, the hits that he lays on people, he's like a shooting bullet out there sometimes. I like him in coverage. He's a little bit iffy, but Hufanga, when he came back, I liked what he brought onto the field. I think they're going to sign him as well. I think they signed both him and Dre Greenlaw. So if you're telling me about the entire defense, I think I'm most comfortable with the secondary moving forward. So I got to give them a higher. I got to give them a higher grade than the linebackers, and the D-line, still not that great because of a couple players not playing that well. So I'm going to give them a B- overall.
All right, perfect. So